Uh, Sorry, but I'm not going to be able to focus on you because I feel that this video is going to be deleted. Instead, I'll be directing my attention to this, so that way I can make copies of it. And I have a feeling that all my videos are going to be deleted on YouTube someday, so this is the one I'll be using. Okay. Hi. This is a video series where I don't think it's going to be very long. Talking to a Muslim who although he hasn't come out with it, I think he wants to join ISIS, and I don't think he has any problem with ISIS. And he says certain things that make me think that he would join ISIS in a heartbeat if he could. And he comes off as intelligent too at the same time, kind of. But then he said some things that I started throwing up at him all the time, and he hasn't responded back. But maybe he will. It's only been 24 hours. It's been a little less. It's been over 24 hours, but hey, maybe he'll come back in tomorrow. We'll see. Excuse me. Anyway, when I do my words, I'll be using this side of my face. I'll be using his. I'll be using this side of my face, plus mock accent. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll begin this in here. Shia wrote the Hadith that has Muhammad saying war is deceit, and Shia wrote Quran 328 and 16106. I thought Bukhari was Sunni, not Shia. Really? Bombings killed 42 in Iraq. Oh, you know something? Oh, I gotta start over here because this looks like oh, this is part 2. I need to go back to part 1 here, so I'll do that. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, I need to go to part 1. Here it is, part 1. Okay. All right, see this. Good takia on the part of this guy. Anyway, if I was a Muslim contemplating joining ISIS or ISIL or the Islamic State, well, before I put Sunan Abu Dawud 22150 into effect in Iraq and Syria, I want to see if Muhammad was a true prophet by eating 7 ajwa dates in the morning, then taking a spoon of cyanide, because Muhammad said in Sahih Hadith, a Sunni Muslim, that a Sunni Muslim is supposed to believe in, or not be a Sunni Muslim, that if you eat 7 ajwa dates that morning, you will be protected all day from both magic and poison. If the cyanide didn't kill me after eating that certain amount of dates, I'd be more likely to believe Muhammad was not a false prophet, and in the process, more willing to join ISIS. ISIL is where the Oblamer's caliphate will soon be called. And this is in the video called "Is the Islamic State Really Killing Christians and Yazidis?" Anyway, that got this Muslim saying, he said this: do your people have arranged marriages with Shabiha and Hizbaliti Shias? I can't understand why you and the rest of the religions in the world united against Islam and have looked past every crime committed against Muslims. And suddenly you are here defending Yazidis, Shias, and whatnot. Well, it's kind of what happened when the Nazis started taking over Europe. You know, people saw Nazis as evil as well, and united the world to stop them, even though the Germans thought it was a crime against Germans. Bashar and his Qaddafi gang, with Hezbollah are the Nazis. But you are talking you're taking their side, and not the Syrian people's side, because Syrians happen to be Muslims. At least 80% of them. Assad was not threatening the countries around him. Those are trying to overthrow him. ISIL, I think ISIL is a good name for themselves, kind of like asshole, are going to be a threat to the countries around them. True, they will be a threat to secularism and nationalism. And you have no problem with that? But they do not kill people unless it's rapists or traitors, or if someone have fired at them in the first place. False. They'll even set off bombs in Sunni mosques due to believing the Sunni Muslims in that mosque won't join them to help strengthen their caliphate that Oblamer helped form by arming, funding, and training them to try to overthrow Assad. They have killed people based on weak evidence. You hope it's weak evidence. I can imagine. The Sunnis blamed the mosque bombing on Shiite Muslims, but Shiites aren't known for doing that to Sunni Muslims. By the way, since ISIS gassed their own people in Syria to try to frame Assad, why not set off bombs? Why not set off bombs in Sunni mosques as well? I don't deny it, but the brutality and bloodthirst is what got them this far. Tell me about that. Tell me about it. So you do agree with me after all. People, especially Yazidi, have come up with all kinds of lies about them. You hope? Well, I'll believe them over those Muslims who believe Muhammad was right when he said war is deceit, dressing up like Iraqi soldiers to get the guard down of Iraqi soldiers. That they are torturing, circumcising women, and raping them. Easy to believe when you have Sunan Abu Dawud 220 and 50 and Muslim Sahih, that sound authentic, Muslim 8, 34, 32, 34, 33's report of how the first part of Quran 424 was, quote, handed down. Someone intolerant, such as Islamic State, IS, would easily slaughter people, even one of their own. Exactly, and that's strange that he would say that, but he's trying to set something up here. Exactly, and they even slaughtered their own yesterday by blowing up a Sunni mosque in Iraq. If they knew they were, quote, sinners, unquote. So I'll have to read that again. He said this. Someone intolerant such as ISIS would easily slaughter people, even one of their own, if they knew they were sinners, which apparently is a Sunni Muslim who doesn't join them to strengthen the caliphate. Yazidi have exaggerated the hell out of the situation, you hope? Claiming to be dying for starvation after 24 hours of their mountain climbing. You hope it's a lie, I can imagine. For if it's true, like I believe, well, what would that mean to you? In Syria, people were burying themselves alive to avoid a Sidis Shabaya. Right. Burying themselves. Right. There are evidence, video and audio material. People willingly burying themselves alive. Where is that video, please? I have seen and heard things in Syria that you wouldn't believe, especially if it comes from the mouths of those Sunnis who believe Muhammad was right when he said war is deceit, and wrote Quran 328 and 61:6 that help create taqiyya, line for Allah. Half of the videos on YouTube where Muslims are getting tortured and mutilated are flagged. The guy who had his head removed recently was a Muslim? Well, he was saying some things on video right before the neck sign that a Muslim would agree with. So, maybe so. If it was any other than Muslims, they would never flag it, you hope? You say they will never set off bombs in Sunni mosques. Right. Never happened. And you are telling the truth and not lying? Really? Well, what do you think of this? This was 3 hours ago, and with video that shows the aftermath. bombing, killing 42 in Iraq after Sunni mosque attack, Associated Press, by Sinan Saladin and Vivian Salama 3 hours ago. Three deadly blasts rock city in northern Iraq. Baghdad AP. Bombings in Baghdad, in the northern city of Kirkuk, killed at least 42 people in Iraq on Saturday as the government investigated a deadly attack on the Sunni mosque the day before that had heightened sectarian tensions amid a fragile political transition in oil-rich Kirkuk, long disputed by Baghdad and the Kurdish regional government. 3 bombs went off in the crowded commercial district, killing 31 people and wounding dozens. Kirkuk Deputy Police Chief Tarhan Abdel Rahman said one witness said he heard an explosion between the cars, and then we started carrying out the dead bodies from there. Well, anyway, then I basically just present it, and then I say this. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It remained unclear whether the attack in the village of Iman Wais was carried out by Shiite militiamen or insurgents from the Islamic State group who had been advancing into mixed Sunni Shiite areas in Diyala and had been known to kill fellow Sunni Muslims who refused to submit to their harsh interpretation of Islamic law. That's right, because they're fundamentalist Muslims, what it comes down to. Don't tell me it's got to be those, quote, evil Jews getting past Allah saying B to try to stop them from making Islam look evil and stupid yet again, true? Quote, since early this year, Iraq has faced an onslaught by the Islamic State's extremist group and allied Sunni militants who have seized large areas in the country's west and north. Okay. Local security officials in Diyala said Friday's attack began with suicide bombings near the mosque entrance. And I say this, and you tried to say this was a lie? How come? Quote, gunmen then stormed the building and opened fire on worshippers. At least 64 people were killed, including 4 Shiite militiamen who stumbled upon bombs planted by the militants as they rushed to the scene with the security forces. Okay, then I say, that gets this Muslim saying, a Sadist, with the aid of the secular thugs, have demolished entire cities, and the mosques were the first thing they destroyed. If true, old Allah was just powerless to stop it, wasn't Allah? Allah white pigs enjoyed doing so. If they're dealing with guys who saw off heads of journalists who are even anti-Assad, like the guy was, this Foley guy, well, I can imagine they would be enjoying it. Quote, you say Oblemer helped form by Armin, right? Don't mention that terrorist pig and claim that he would aid Islamists. Because if he was, that would mean Allah used him to help ISIL out. But I thought you were on the side of these Islamists. You are now saying ISIL isn't, and that Oblemer didn't arm them? Why is he killing ISIL with drones then? Why did ISIL gas its own children? Don't believe in Quran 9:111 that tells you to kill and be killed in the cause of Allah? Sounds like even your brothers in Islam are expendable if it's in Allah's cause to bring about Sharia. Are you going to deny also that Oblemer bypassed Congress to not only give $1.5 billion to the terrorist Muslim Brotherhood, but to bomb Gaddafi so Al-Qaeda could overthrow him? And do you think Oblemer didn't arm, fund, and train, quote, Islamists? Really? Huh. Okay, I gotta stop it here.